Hi, my name is Catherine and I'm a craftaholic. Welcome to my craft room and my channel. Hi everyone! I am not alone in my craft room today. I have Miss JD, aka Miss Purry Purpur, and a little bit of a grumpy cat sometimes, on my lap. Well, I don't know if she's gonna stay now. So I hope I'm not full of JD fur now, but you know, in my house, pet fur is an accessory. It's like jewelry. And it's a token of honor. Well, I've had such a crazy week. Life has not been kind to me. But I'm not gonna complain or whine about it. Just in short, I was supposed to have the house and the week all to myself because my boyfriend and his son, were gonna go camping. But after 2 days, boyfriend came back with a hernia. So now I am, taking care of him and not having the time and the house to myself. But that's okay. It just means I did not get to do all the things I wanted to do. I just did different things. And of course, I guess you're all very curious to see what this week's FO is. Now, if you have looked in the comment section, you will know that, well, the painting obviously wasn't it. And it only had one vote. I'm sorry, Isolde, it will be for a different time. But I would not have been able to work on it anyways, because I've been very busy, so it's a good thing that that wasn't picked. And the lily necklace had 3 votes. Well, technically it had 1,009 votes, but Adele, I'm very sorry, the 1,000 doesn't count. So it had 9 votes. Well, actually 3. Well, actually 4. But the bag had 17 votes, so it was an overwhelming win for the bag. So I was gonna say without any further ado, but I forgot to bring it in, so I'm gonna have to go get it. Just a second. Okay, so I'm back. You know, it's a good thing to be prepared. Okay, so without any further ado, there it is, my finished object of the week. I will show you the crochet detail. You may remember I started a completely different lace work for it, but it was just too narrow, so I decided to frog it, and I am gonna try that one pattern again later, but I'm gonna modify it so that it's larger. I'm gonna make it was with like a zigzag, and I'm gonna just make the arches, that's the word. I'm just gonna make the arches a bit larger. So I actually started from scratch, and I made these really quick and easy flowers. I don't know, the light is kind of washing them out. Let me see if I can adjust the light a little bit. No, that's not doing it. If I turn it off. Yeah, that's a little bit clearer, but not really. Anyhow, I made these flowers and then connected them. And did not use Swarovskis this time, but I got these 2 little cute buttons, and the inside is the opposite of the outside, so it's got the whole fuchsia lining with, of course, the Viewmasters on the bottom. and then a embroidered detail on the handles. Ooh, sorry. And there you go. So I am very, very happy with my bag. I hope you guys like it too. Oh, where is the time, Viewmaster? Spending the day in the dark instead of playing outside. We actually had a Viewmaster projector, which was very fancy. Well, that's my FO for this week. And if things would have been different, I would have made a new vote for this week, because I really, first of all, I really loved your enthusiasm and your input. I loved it. It really motivates me so much. But we are having card problems on top of the whole boyfriend can't get out of his bad situation. So I don't know what I will be able to do, what I craft wise, that is. Also, I have quite a few appointments coming up, so I am not gonna make any promises for next week, except that there will be one FO. I just don't know what. It will be a surprise, but I promise I will have a finished object. It's probably gonna be something small, but I will have a finished object. Just, I don't know what yet. I will finish something. Okay, I have a feeling I am all over the place, so I'm gonna try to center my thoughts and go on with the show. FO is shown. WIP. WIPs, well, there's only one WIP I want to show you. And it is the Sislove CAL. I have seen some beautiful, beautiful work already on the J Hook Crochet and More Facebook page. If you don't know about the Sislove CAL, there is a link in the description box to J Hook Crochet and More video about this CAL, where you can find all the information you need. This is how far I've gotten, and I really love the pattern. Although, like I said it before, maybe my yarn is a little bit busy already for this pattern, because I feel that like the puff stitches don't come out as they should, but I love the lace work. It's really pretty. Now it's a chart. It's not the easiest chart I've encountered, but if you're stuck, there are plenty of people, as well as the original designers, on the Facebook page. They're there to help you. If you have questions, you get an answer very fast. And we're all helping each other out, and I love that. I think it's amazing. It's not a CAL with a video tutorial. You just print out a pattern and follow it, but we're all making it together, and everybody's posting pictures of their progress, and it's so much fun to see how fast some people are, or the colors they picked. I'm loving it. So if you're interested to join us, please do check out the video and join our group. It's a lot of fun. And if you're interested to know how far I've gotten, this is row 19 that I've finished and undid a little bit. So I'm gonna start row 20. It goes fast. That's it for WIPs and UFOs. And I have a confession of a craftaholic to make. Well, it's actually not really a confession because it's really not bad. But I didn't start out as a crocheter. I started out as a knitter. My mom was a very accomplished knitter. She made the most intricate patterns. She worked with the most difficult yarns, the most special yarns. And she taught me how to knit. And I knitted ever since I was a child through my puberty and young adulthood. But I stopped because of a few reasons. And the main reason was I got very enthusiastic when I started a new project and I overdid it. And I suffered a lot from pain in my fingers, in my wrists, in my elbows, in my shoulders, in my neck because of the bit of immobile position that you take when you knit. And if I keep a certain position for too long, I now know that my muscles cramp up, they spasm, but I don't feel it. And then when I stretch it, I overstretch the muscle and I get little tears, which results in pain. And then I would not crochet for weeks until I felt better again. And then I made the same mistake again, and I always fell in the same pattern. So I have a lot of started projects because I think we all have that problem. It's not fun to pick up a project after months of it just laying there. And especially with knitting, where you have to follow your pattern quite religiously. Usually what I end up doing was frogging it all back and starting over because I didn't remember where I was. So, also, and I have the same problem with crochet, but less because crochet often you crochet things together, but I don't like, for some reason, don't like sewing knitted parts together. And I made sweaters all the time. And I didn't like the sewing. So actually I let my mom do the sewing, but she can't do it for me anymore. So it just, stayed there. And this brings me to the boxes of long lost treasures, which this time is a fiber box. And I rummaged through it, but I haven't gotten through it thoroughly, so I don't really know what is in there myself. And let us start with this. A sweater, or the start of. I actually made one already with this yarn. It was my mom's. And I think I started making one for myself. So this is the back panel. And it's like a boucle yarn. The front panel. And I see that there is a hole in it. I can pull it closed. It's just one of the ends of the color changes. So I have a front panel and I have a back panel. Now the question is, do we have sleeves? Where could it be? No. At first glance, I don't have sleeves, sorry. Now in this bag, I have some very old 100% wool. And Bergère de France was one of my mom's favorite brands and also mine. And I'll tell you why. Every year, and I'm talking way long before internet, all to all the youngsters in here. Every year or twice a year, we would get a yarn catalog. And the Bergère de France catalog came with yarn samples. So every type of yarn had like this little piece of yarn with all the different colors. And as a kid, that was just, that was heaven for me. I loved playing with it, looking at it, and asking my mom to make me all the sweaters in the book. Little did I realize how expensive this yarn is and how tedious yarn was at that time. Knitting was at that time, I didn't know. But yeah, Bergère de France, that is some wonderful childhood memories. And the yarn, when you ordered yarn, it also came with a pattern book with all the patterns that were in that little sample book. I wish I had one of those sample books. It's, you know, just pure nostalgic feeling. But I completely digressed. I have no sleeves in this bag, but I do have some wool. And I have to say, yes, I have been told that I am becoming a yarn snob. But this yarn, and I don't know what I was thinking, this yarn is scratchy. It is so scratchy. It's wool, it's 100% wool, and I know what I bought it for. It's for a sweater. What was I thinking? This sweater is never ever gonna be soft, I think. So maybe if I soak it in fabric softener, but it's so scratchy. And I tell you, this yarn was expensive. So this is 50 grams and it's about 45 meters. It's nothing on this ball. It's number 6, so 14 millimeter. No, what is that? No, what am I saying? 14 millimeter. That's the. It's a 5 to 6 millimeter needle and hook. Actually, it says here. Hand wash, of course. No, machine dry, lay flat, blah blah blah. The whole thing. It has a wool mark on it. There you go. So I'm wondering if I'm gonna find the sweater that I began making with this, and I think it was a jacquard Nordic pattern. That I'm not sure. About the pattern I'm not sure, but I do remember that this was a sweater for a sweater. Then I have some protruding needles. A bag with what do you call that? Ball bands. Now that's a tongue twister if there is ever one. And this is from Katja, and this is Spanish yarn. I don't think you can. There you go. You can get it in the States, but it's one of the ready available yarns in Europe. And this is 40% acrylic, 30% wool, and 30% polyamide. And this is you can feel the wool, but it's not scratchy. I wouldn't say it's heavenly soft, but I am so sorry, the fuzzies. But this is reasonably soft, and it's actually quite dense. This is also 50 grams and only 32 meters. It's a 10 to 12 millimeter needle. And this, I remember, was for a sweater as well. But I also have to tell you that these yarns did not move out of the house with me when I left the family home, and they were laying around until my dad moved and, you know, asked me if I wanted it back, and it's yarn, so of course I wanted it back. So I don't know if the actually knitted piece survived or not, but seeing all the scraps here, there must have been part of a sweater made. Just don't know if it still exists. What else is in here? Ah, like in all my boxes, there's beads in there. Oh, yeah. Ah, this necklace actually, I remember I did not make it, and I think my parents bought that in Hungary when they visited. And I think I was gonna copy the pattern. What else do I have? Ooh, snippers. And very good embroidery scissors. See, I'm richer than I thought. Puncher. Oh wait, there's a bag in the bag. And that looks like a broken necklace and beads. Not gonna open it. Not gonna open it. And some 9mm knitting needles. Hey, I have Addy needles. I didn't know. I've seen people talk about Addy. And what do you know? I have Addy needles. I love working with these because they have a very sharp tip. Really good for purling. And that's it. That's all in this bag. Just ball bands and scraps, and that's it. Okay. Even if I do find... Oh, here's another Nibla. I am wondering if I do find pieces. I'm wondering if I do find the pieces and actually the yarn to continue making them or to finish the piece. Will I finish it? Should I finish it? Because I mean, these models, I mean, this is so 90s, it's not even funny. I think I should just give these to the pets as blankets, right? What should I do with it? Like, okay, I could make a sweater with it, even if I don't have the pattern book anymore. I could sew them together and I could try to figure out how to make the sleeves. But seriously, this is ridiculously outdated, right? What do you guys think? Or is it just me not wanting to finish it? Could be. Okay, I have another bag. And this is a sleeve. Oh, this yarn is soft. This is a sleeve. And actually, when I look at it, I am pretty sure this is actually blocked already. This is another sleeve. Two sleeves. Yep. And I think that's it. Two sleeves. Again, don't know where the rest of the sweater is. The yarn. And this is Anel. I actually liked working with this yarn as well. This is 55% wool and 45% polyacrylic. It is so soft. It just feels like acrylic. You don't feel the wool in it at all. But oh my goodness, look at this. I have yarn to make sleeves, but no pattern. Oh. Oh, 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 oh. Or do I? Oh, nope. Nope. Those are beading patterns. Another type of yarn from Bergère de France as well. So another, what is it? 80% acrylic, 20% wool. It's actually not soft, but another scrap. And oh yeah, I was gonna make a sweater for my godson. He's now 25. Okay, admit it, you all have things like that in your closets. Let me know if you can say that you don't have things like that hanging around in your yarn collection. No shaming. No shaming at all. But I think we all do. Yep. Okay, so that's what's left in here. Really, it's just these balls. And then what else? This is actually not knitting. This is cross stitch. This is a dishcloth. Is it a dishcloth or it's no, a tablecloth? A small tablecloth with can you see the embroidery? So it's just regular cotton. Ah, look at that. I just saw something peeking out. There you go. And I think, well, actually, I know my mom started making this. You see the Ida fabric worked into the cotton. Now this is definitely something I want to finish. Just the fact that my mom started making it and that I can finish it is just gonna... Oh, I'm actually happy I found this. Yep. I'm gonna finish this one. Not by next week. Did not say that. Oh, did not say that. Okay, so that's awesome. So that's it. That's it. And the box is empty. And the conclusion is that I have 2 sleeves and no body. And no pattern. A body and no sleeves, but a little bit of yarn. See, this is not enough for 2 sleeves either, so I cannot finish it. And I don't have a pattern. And some scraps and 1 part of a child sweater. That's... oh, poor UFOs. What shall I do with them? What shall I do with them? I really think that most of them are going to become pet blankets. So, to come back to my confession of a craftaholic, was not that I was a knitter in my younger years. That's actually not a confession. The knit skeletons in my closet kind of are a confession. But the biggest confession is that, yes, I'm gonna become a knitter again. I have a few friends, and you know who you are, And they have a very, very bad influence on me. And they have been trying to convince me to start knitting again. Because hand-dyed yarn. First of all, it's hard to resist hand-dyed yarn. But also, ooh, I haven't told you yet. I am just all over the place today, so please forgive me. But I haven't told you the good news yet. I won not one, but 2 giveaways this week. What? Yes! Now this little piece here, my Shall We Fudge It shawl, won the Instagram drawing, and I won patterns. One from the dabbling hook, one from Crystal, I forgot her name, I'll insert it, and also a pattern from J Hook Crochet and More. But then I also won a giveaway on Facebook from Little Vicious Stitches. Yes, I managed to say it. It's very hard to say. And there I won a few hanks of hand-dyed yarn. And she has beautiful stuff. So pretty. So pretty. I will link her Facebook page also in here. So, yeah. And that is why knitting. Because you need a lot less yarn for knitting than for crochet. And when you use those expensive yarns, it is really something that I take into consideration, is crochet over knitting. So yeah, I'm gonna pick up knitting again, even if there are a few reasons why I shouldn't, or why I prefer crochet over knitting. But the thing is, they both look so different. You can make 2 completely different looking things with exactly the same yarn just because the stitches. And also Reggie with the self-patterning. Reggie has made some videos, some reviews on self-patterning yarn. I didn't even know that it existed. I knew about self-striping, but not self-patterning. And I love it. So that's also something that you either want to do with knitting needles or you have to single crochet it. I'm not a big fan of making large single crochet things because it's tedious. So, and again, I need to try to stay on track. My confession is that I'm gonna become a knitter again because I have some very good bad friends. And actually the thing that I'm gonna start knitting with is, I've had it for a while. It's a gift. I've been gifted it. And it is this gorgeous hank of Expression Fiber Arts yarn, indeed. This is the Luster Sport, and I don't know if you see it, but it has a little sparkle in it. It's so subtle. It is so subtle. It's so pretty. And this is just, this feels like a caress. It's a cloud. It's so soft, and look at the colors. And I have been waiting for a project to come along where I said, I'm gonna make it with this luscious yarn. It is a 361 meters, so it's 359 yards, and it's not a lot. So I don't want to pair this with another yarn. I want this to shine all by itself. And to make something crochet with only 361 meters, will be small, and I don't want to make like gloves or a hat with it. This screams shawl or garment. And as yes, they have convinced me with my winnings and such, and also I may or may not have ordered yarn from Whisper Crochet that I'm waiting for. So they have convinced me that I should pick up knitting again. And this will be my first knitting project. I've been looking for patterns, and I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna go with one of Shandy's own patterns, and I found the perfect one, I think, for me, and I'm gonna make a scarf with it. So that was my confession, even if I went not the long way around, but the ridiculous long way around. So I can't wait to kick this up. Look for my 3 to 5 millimeter needles. I think the pattern calls for a 3.75 needle. I am a tight hooker though. I am a loose hooker. I'm a tight knitter. So I think I'm gonna go for a 4 millimeter and see if I can still knit. There you go. Okay, if you have stuck with me for so long, with all my babbling and rambling and going off track and you know, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. With everything going on, I have only managed to answer a few of the comments last week, but I promise that I read them all and I will answer them all. So please don't stop commenting. And if you like my content and you want to share with other people, please feel free to do so. If you like my videos, give it a thumbs up. And if you're curious to know what else I come up with, hit the subscription button and a bell if you want to get notifications about my videos. Now, before I go, like always, I leave you with this completely useless fact, and that is that a group of parrots is called a pandemonium. See you next week. Bye!